Hi there, Spreckles Scholars. Miss Dickison Jr. here. One of my favorite things to do when the weather is rainy and cold outside is to put on my favorite robe, hop on my couch, and grab a good book to read. Today, I'm going to read you a book called Happy Birthday, Dr. King, since we are celebrating Dr. King on Monday. So here we go. Come on, class. Don't forget your assignment for tonight. Think about the Martin Luther King Jr. assembly. His birthday is almost here, Miss Gordon said to her fourth grade class. Jamal, Arthur, you two wait. You have another assignment. Please take these notes from the principal home for your parents. A pink slip! I'm really in trouble now, Jamal thought to himself, walking home through the January slush. Maybe Mom won't ask me about school. Jamal decided to go in the front door and quietly upstairs to his room. Usually, he liked that his mother was home from her job at the hospital before he got home from school. Today was different. Jamal, is that you? Is Alicia with you? Mrs. Wilson called from the kitchen. It's just me, Mom, Jamal answered. Whoop. There we go. How did your day go? She asked. Well, we're planning Dr. King's birthday celebration, and I have some math and Jamal pulled out the crumpled pink slip out of his pocket. A pink slip? Did you get into trouble? She asked, looking him straight in the eyes. Grandpa Joe came into the kitchen. What's this I hear about trouble? And Dr. King? He asked. What's the pink paper? It's just a note from the principal. It's no big deal, Jamal said. Yesterday I got into a fight with another kid on my bus. We both wanted to sit in the back seat. Grandpa Joe's smile disappeared. Fighting to sit at the back of the bus? I can't believe what I'm hearing, Grandpa Joe said in a voice. That voice that tells the family to sit up and listen? Why would you want to fight over something like that? He said, walking towards the basement door. I can't believe it. Why is Grandpa so angry? Jamal asked his mother. It's no big deal. It's a very big deal, especially to your grandfather. Why don't you go and talk to him about it? Grandpa Joe, I'm sorry that I got into trouble for fighting. I won't do it again. Jamal, you are 10 years old and old enough to understand it's almost Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. What are you doing for the celebration this year? What does Dr. King's assembly have to do with a little fight? Grandpa Joe took a deep breath and began. A long time ago, I was raising my family in Montgomery, Alabama. This is what used to happen when African Americans wanted to ride the city buses. First, we'd get on at the front of the bus, pay for our fare, and get off. Then we'd get back on again at the rear of the bus. We didn't like it, but that's how things were. It was the law. Then one day, in 1955, a lady named Rosa Parks Rosa Parks, Jamal interrupted. We read about her. She sat in the front of the bus and wouldn't give her seat to a white man, and she got arrested. But, Jamal, there's more to the story. When African Americans heard about her arrest, many of us stopped riding the buses. We wanted to protest her arrest and to get the same rights that white people had. That was the Montgomery bus boycott. And the boycott worked. We finally won without fighting. Now, you go think about the bus boycott. Maybe you could figure out why I'm unhappy about your pink slip. Jamal! Your sister's home. Come and set the table, Mrs. Wilson called. Jamal hurried upstairs. He had some hard thinking to do. Heard you got into trouble, Alicia said to her brother. Oh, be quiet. Okay, you two, said Jamal's dad coming in. Jamal knows he did something wrong. How is your homework going? Well, we have to think of something to do for the Martin Luther King Jr. Assembly. Everyone in my class is learning parts of his I Have a Dream speech, Alicia chimed in. I'll think of something. Grandpa Joe and I were talking about the bus boycotts. That should give you some ideas, his dad said. Did you know that Grandpa Joe took me to hear Dr. King speak when I was your age? You heard Martin Luther King Jr. yourself? Jamal asked. I sure did. It was during the boycott, too. Grandpa Joe took me to a meeting at the church one night. This man went up to the front, and suddenly everyone stood and clapped. Then he started talking. I couldn't believe the power of his speech. That man was Dr. King. He told us why to boycott the buses and how we needed to help each other. Dr. King became a great leader of the civil rights movement. I know about that part, Jamal said. That's why we celebrate his birthday. But how to celebrate is the problem. Then remember, Dr. King always spoke about peaceful ways to make things happen. Does that help? Peaceful, Jamal said, slowly thinking. You mean like not fighting? And those peaceful ideas worked back then? Jamal, peaceful ideas work today too, his dad answered. Peaceful, Jamal said again. Peaceful, and his face brightened. That's it. Our class could do something to show that fighting is not the way to get things done. Maybe we could do a skit. Everyone could have a part, and we could have costumes, and I could be the star, and... Whoa, his dad said. First, you better eat your dinner. Then you can write down your ideas for Mrs. Gordon. Grandpa Joe, Jamal asked as his grandfather joined them, when you were a kid, did you ever do something really stupid that turned out to be stupendous instead? Grandpa Joe's smile returned, and he nodded. All right, children, settle down. We have a lot of work to do today, Mrs. Gibbons said. Let's start with Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday assembly. Who has an idea for what our class can do? Oh, Jamal? Jamal stood proudly. I have an idea for a skit. It's about these two dopey boys who don't understand about Martin Luther King Jr. They get into a fight over a seat in the back of the bus. I wonder what you think happened next. Do you think that Miss Gordon allowed them to do the assembly skit? It looks like it. I wonder what you think happened. The two boys got in a fight in the back of the bus. Then I wonder what the skit ended. Maybe they remembered how hard Martin Luther King fought for the rights of African Americans and all Americans to be treated equal. On Monday, we celebrate his birthday. So happy birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King. And I hope you enjoyed this book. Stay safe and dry. Bye, scholars.